Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Simply Medics. Please like, subscribe and share. So today we will discuss about normal physiology of blood pressure. So when we measure the blood pressure, we get two readings. That is the systolic blood pressure and the diastolic blood pressure. The normal value of blood pressure is 120 by 80. The systolic BP mainly depends on the cardiac output and the diastolic BP mainly depends on the total peripheral resistance. So during systole, what happens? When the ventricles contract, the valve of aorta gets open and the blood goes into the aorta and some pressure is exerted on the wall of aorta, which is the systolic pressure. So this pressure mainly depends on the cardiac output. And then after this, during the diastole, what happens? The aortic wall gets closed. Then the wall of aorta is slightly distended due to the pressure exerted on it peripheral resistance. Then the measured pressure is the diastolic BP, which mainly depends on the total peripheral resistance. So now let's talk about the systolic blood pressure, which mainly depends on the cardiac output, which depends on the stroke volume and the heart rate. The stroke volume further depends on the preload, that is the end diastolic volume, and pressure, the contractility of the heart, and the afterload. This preload depends on the venous pressure, which further depends on the filling pressure and filling time of atria. This filling pressure is determined by the two ways, the venomotor tone and the blood volume. So if we increase the blood volume or if the venoconstriction occurs, then what will happen? The filling pressure will increase, then the venous pressure will increase, then preload will increase, and it will increase the stroke volume, which will increase the cardiac output. Then the systolic pressure will also increase. And just opposite to this is when we give vasoconstrictor or we decrease the volume, then the blood pressure will also decrease. Similar to this is the filling time, which is nothing but the diastolic interval. The end diastolic volume also depends on the duration of diastole. If this interval is less, then the end diastolic volume and pressure will also be less. So the stroke volume will decrease and cardiac output will also decrease. So the systolic pressure will be decreased. So when we increase the heart rate, initially the blood pressure will increase because the cardiac output increases, but the heart rate is further increased. Then it will lead to the decrease in the diastolic interval. So the systolic blood pressure will be also decreased. Now if we talk about the contractility of the heart, that is, if the ability of the heart to contract will be less, then the stroke volume will also be less. So the cardiac output will be decreased. So the systolic blood pressure will also decrease. Now if we talk about the afterload, which is the total resistance against which the heart works, that is the total peripheral resistance. If the arterioles will dilate, then this resistance will be decreased, stroke volume will increase, then the cardiac output will increase, then the systolic blood pressure will also rise. So here we can see that the systolic blood pressure also depends on the total peripheral resistance. So now let's talk about the diastolic blood pressure, which mainly depends on total peripheral resistance. We can understand this mechanism by concentrating at this very simple diagram. Let's suppose that this is our venous system and this is our arteriolar system. Normally the volume of blood in our body is more in the venous system and less volume is present in the arterial system. And also the blood in the veins are in less stress than the arteriolar system. That's why the blood pressure mainly depends on the arteriolar blood. So when the vasoconstriction occurs, then the diastolic blood pressure increases. Let's suppose we have given any drug which constricts the veins. Then what will happen? That the blood volume in the veins will flow in this direction more rapidly. That is, vasoconstriction will lead to shift the blood volume of veins into the arteriolar blood. So the stressed volume will be increased. Then it will lead to more increase in the total peripheral resistance. So the diastolic blood pressure will also be increased. And then let's suppose we give any drug that constricts the arteriolar system. Then what will happen? It will be difficult for the blood to move from arterioles to venules. That is, arterial constriction will lead to trapping of blood in the arterial system. Then it will lead to increase in the stressed volume present in the arteriolar blood, which will lead to increase in the total peripheral resistance. So the diastolic blood pressure will be increased again. So now it's clear that constriction of both veins in the arterioles will lead to increase in the total peripheral resistance. So the diastolic blood pressure. Clear? For this, let's talk about another term, the mean arteriolar pressure, which is the average pressure exerted by blood in the arteriolar system of the body. It depends on the both factors, that is cardiac output and total peripheral resistance. So what happens here? Let's suppose that we increase the resistance. Then what happens? The mean arterial pressure also increases, but not as much as expected, because we know that the cardiac output and total peripheral resistance both are interrelated. Because when we increase the total peripheral resistance, then also the stroke decreases, then it decreases the cardiac output, and if by the effect of both the cardiac output and total peripheral resistance determines the mean arterial pressure. Sometimes we see one more term, the mean systemic pressure, which is the average of total pressure, that is the both arteriolar and venous pressure of the body. Clear? So with this we have finished the introductory part of the arterial blood pressure. In the next video we will discuss about the regulation of the blood pressure. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked the video, then please share, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do subscribe our channel Simply Medics for more videos, and press the bell icon to get notification of new videos. And if you have any doubt to ask and for feedback, let us know in the comment.